Yeah, he just said that. Yeah. In real life, she's like a master poker player as well as a voice actor.
Okay. But I guess it's the same like Mila Kunis, I guess, with Meg. I guess. I mean,
Yeah, that's right.
Mila Kunis, aka Meg.
Well, I mean,
Meg.
she literally gets people to go, "Shut up, Meg," to her during interviews, so it can't be helped.
Oh, I didn't know she was Meg.
Wait, serious?
I've never properly watched Family Guy. I don't like everything I see.
Oh, okay, fair enough, right? Okay.
So
Shit.
When I actually looked into, because I liked her character, Meg is okay. I don't dislike her. I like her character, but I didn't like her enough. And I think I found out about Bonnie's character more incidentally, on accident, to be honest.
Okay. So, are we still waiting for Pat and John, or shall we just start? Or where's Rob?
Oh,
I think Rob's the most important, really.
Rob's at Rob's at the top of the hierarchy.
Yeah.
I feel like Rob's the only one who can really initiate it being live. So I feel like
he is. He's done it
around. So
I mean, it is live, so that's the problem. Are we still waiting for him, or shall we just go introduce it?
Well, this might be a good chance to talk about the we were talking about doing things a bit differently because there's now 8 of us.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, is everyone aware that you can do like a raise your hand thing on this? It's just in case like there's some. Well,
let me see you nod your head.
Yeah, we're trying to stop this whole thing of like we make like multiple points in a row, and then like someone wants to say something, but then what they were wanting to reference is like about 3 subjects away. So yeah, if you feel like there's something you want to add and conversation sort of drifting, then hit the raise hand button, which is under reactions, and then that kind of signals that you want to talk.
Okay, I see it.
Also, I was thinking, Humphrey, you okay? You're looking very lost.
Oh yeah, okay. Go and talk.
He's good. Yeah, and then I was also going to say, after Simon said about why he's chosen this fucking film, we'll get like a little personal statement sort of thing, just so everyone's said something like right from the start. So like, I don't know, just keep it like brief. That's more for me than anything, because you know, bad at being brief.
Make it good.
Can you see my?
I can see your thumb.
Yeah, your thumb and your palm.
No, I was just testing because it's been raised for a while.
You can see your Wilkinson Palmer.
Let's try.
But yeah, everyone happy with that?
Yes.
Anyone not happy with that?
Said no.
Don't abuse it, Humphrey. That defeats the fucking object. And I'll just ask you questions, and no one wants that.
Okay. Happy with what?
Everyone's happy with the raising your hand function and the having a little personal statement at the beginning after Simon said why he's picked this.
What did Simon say?
I get it. Like to sum up what you were saying before. Yeah. Cool.
Okay. Cool. Well, Rob's just said carry on. So I guess we'll just start with Simon. Why did you pick this fucking thing?
Okay. So we'll start off with this. It's a good movie that was not just recommended by other people. It was recommended by everyone. It is one of the films that our great director the director, what was his name again? What's his full name?
Bong Joon-ho.
It's one of his first English films that he wrote with the Weinstein Company, but it's one of his first films that he ever wrote in English, and it's a credit to him that it sticks still very well, even with that language barrier. Now, it has quite a critical acclaim to the film, I feel. But obviously, there are people who critique it, which I feel like if we pass it to Alec first, because I know he's just bursting with opinions right now. I can just see it. So, okay, go on. That's why I chose the film. So, Alec, why do you want to shit on this film?
Because I'm just a miserable human, and I don't have anything in life that makes me happy, so I have to resort to this. No, just to keep it really, really brief. I watched the first time I watched this. I really, really liked it. The second time I watched it with Ebony, and then halfway through she asked me a bunch of questions about what was coming up, and as I was answering, I kind of realized there was stuff not adding up. Rob, fuck me, that's so fucking scary.
Oh, what's he doing?
Jesus fuck.
Sorry, guys.
Is he like in?
You look like the screen slaver. Jesus.
Let's see if I-
Resident
Does this help?
Look
There we
like
go.
That's a lot less fucking menacing, yeah.
Very bright though.
the purple creeper in Minecraft.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, great art. Minecraft. Just shout out there. Anyway, carry on.
Anyway, after about so I watched this again yesterday, and I'm now convinced that it's very broken, and I'm highly disappointed. But I can absolutely see why it's received the acclaim that it has. But we'll get into that.
Broken in what way?
Hmm?
Broken in what way?
We'll get into it. I'm trying to keep
Okay.
it brief. These are
Yeah, this
don't get me started. I will fucking just go and go and go.
Oh,
it'll be
okay.
like 3 hours of like pulling it apart.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I think Ben had a slightly more neutral take on it. So Ben,
Ben is Mr. Neutral, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I do like the first time I saw Snowpiercer, I was really impressed with its like originality, and I think it was one of the first Bong Joon-ho films I saw. Obviously, it's the first English language film, so it makes sense I saw that one first. But I really like the concept and the ideas and the journey the main character Chris Evans goes through, and the twists and turns in the story itself. So I appreciated that. Like the second time of it, I did feel a bit more like Alec in terms of like, oh, there's a lot of things in it that have a bit of like on the surface level, it looks good, and it kind of like, but the more you think about it, there's a lot of like nothing quite fits together where it should. However, on the third list watch, I was like, okay, I can still enjoy what I liked from it originally, and I really liked like the subtext behind most of the characters' motivations and like how the class system is represented in the train, and I thought all the strengths of it still hold up from the initial first watch I enjoyed. So, and I think visually there are points of it that are really quite stunning, and there are a couple of other shots that aren't quite, which is kind of like the best scenes are the ones that are like more practical, and some of the weaker scenes are more the CGI heavy scenes. But overall, the choreography is really impressive, and the actors are as good as they ever were. Like John Hurt, excellent. Tilda Swinton, excellent. Chris Evans, excellent. They're all brilliantly cast, even if they aren't quite utilized as well as they could be. But overall, I still enjoy the film.
Cool.
I'm so proud of you, Ben. Emmanuel's
good.
left, but
well, no, he's
Don't let-
just
don't
getting
let that
so
dissuade.
much.
He's
So,
pleased.
I feel like
he's just like Tilda Swinton's good, and he's like, "Fuck this."
Nope.
Tilda Swinton.
I'm making some fucking tea.
Oh, Tilda add something. Triggered Camilla.
Oh,
why?
Acting was so good, it reminded her of her actual teachers from up north who were that condescending.
As a
oh.
Oh,
as the resident northerner, there were times when she was speaking, and all I could. Year 9, I'm very disappointed at the way you behaved today. Like that's what
All right, yeah,
I can see
yeah, she's a great actress. Like her,
Yeah, this
really
is-
nailed that.
The fact that she's American and she do the northern English accent so damn well was so impressive.
disgusting.
With prosthetic teeth as well.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She's Scottish though.
But I think she has some English accent. I don't know.
Normally she has an English accent,
But it was
but it's like normal.
it was a
English.
brilliant accent.
Yeah, she did so well. She was
It
like,
was upsetting.
yeah.
Sounded like Miss Derbyshire, the head of PE.
Right. Who's got the next personal statement?
I think we should start with Humphrey because he watched it. He scored it last. So Humphrey, what's up?
Yeah, it was all right.
Cool. Rob, what you got?
No, it was. I quite liked it, but then when it got to the bit when he was talking about him meeting people, I was like, wait a minute. And then when he said, "But the babies taste the best," I'm like, no.
That's
it's too
one of the
far.
best scenes. That's
It's
like
like the way he says it, and I'm just like, this sounds more like a joke than a fucking serious thing. Because
I'm just picturing you sitting there going like, babies don't taste the best. Fuck you.
The
No,
baby's
it's-
not taste good.
it's because it's Captain America saying it. It's Chris Evans saying it. That's what makes it
it's just
interesting.
really odd. It's like, what?
Yeah, it's odd because it's gross and it shouldn't really be coming out of his mouth, I guess.
Yeah, the fact he knows about it and the fact that he had to go through it is disturbing and sad enough.
Yeah.
So,
And
sorry.
yeah, so it was okay. It wasn't super duper amazing. I did like the concept of the film. It was
Yeah, that's easily the best
but
thing.
yeah, like the bit with the child in the train. I was kind of like they explained bits, but didn't really kind of. I don't understand what he was actually doing. You know, when they kept doing the pulling the hand out. And
It's like a car engine. He's like the lever now because the car. Oh, actually, no. We'll get to that part first. We'll get to that part later. Sorry.
Yeah.
Let's go to Rob. Rob, your opinions.
So I mean, I've always got like a bit of a soft spot for sort of class commentary and that kind of thing. And the thought behind it in this, I thought was pretty good. Like I think there were some really good ideas going on. I think some of the ways that they did them sort of had me scratching my head a bit. But I think the biggest thing that turned me off it was just how heavy-handed it was with it all. Like, for example, the scene where Tilda Swinton is doing the speech about the shoe and the hat and all of that. I was just like, this should be like reference for the writers. Like, I shouldn't be hearing this as the audience. Like, this is all stuff that like I want to get to myself rather than you telling me. I think that was the biggest thing that kind of turned me away from it. And then I mean, we'll get into it later, but there's also some things where I think they were going for some quite clever commentary. But because of the context of the film and like how they set it up, I was kind of going like, this is a bit like, I don't know, it's a bit too far, and it stops it from being a commentary, and now it's like edging into satire, which I didn't think they did on purpose. So, yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Wait. Do we just see a message from Pat? What did he say?
He said he's just
He's
said
on his way.
Okay. Should we wait for him first, or should we just continue talking?
Nah, fuck it. Manuel.
Yeah, so bad.
Well, like I said, Camilla agrees with you, Rob. Similar comments on some of the stuff, but otherwise, I've liked it the same as when I first saw it. It's a good sad film. Planning on watching again because it's sad.
So just like bondage, is that the reason why you have that rope as well?
Huh?
Nothing. That was a bad joke. I'm sorry.
Like a dark reference.
Anyways,
what were you but yeah, otherwise I had no real problems with it, to be honest myself. I liked it. It was, I don't think I can't remember why I watched it or who told me to watch it or who I was watching it with, but I didn't know anything going in. And yeah, I kind of just, I liked it. I don't know what the TV series is like, because when we first started trying to watch it, we accidentally got onto that. And I was just like, oh, there's a TV series now. This is not the film, so let's go to the actual film. Because it's playing on both. I think it's playing on Netflix for free. I say for free. If you have Netflix, there's TV shows on there. So anyway.
Netflix.
Cool. So I think if Pat's still setting up, we've got another like half an hour before his computer like wakes up. So let's
This is anime.
Yeah, Pat's got like a 20-year-old computer, so
fucking have at it. If we're going too fast, do the raise your hand thing.
Simon, if you can explain what Dan was talking about. The
Right.
Essentially, you know how like car engines have like pistons and stuff. The kids were like the gears and the pistons. They were just moving. They were sticking their hands into the machinery to move it around.
they're doing the fine-tuning adjustments of the engine.
Yep, and essentially they became like hamsters in a wheel, and they're the ones that make the engine run. Essentially, is what it is. And Pat, perfect. Give us like your first like hot take or stuff about the movie.
Train was fast.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. Like okay.
Let me get comfortable in the conversation.
Than my first response.
So Pat, we've all kind of gone round and we've kind of given just kind of like a short sort of statement on like how we feeling about it. So yeah, obviously mine's been quite negative, but like yeah, just sort of your feelings, I guess, just to kind of start with. We can get into stuff later, but
well, I still really enjoy it. Like
okay.
Yep, he's still.
Okay, so okay. That's all I need. He really enjoys it, and that's good.
I think you kicked me out for a minute.
Well, I
was
really
about
enjoyed it,
to-
and I'm panicking now. Bye.
Basically, I'm trying to think about what to say, and then it's like Rob will let you in soon. I was like, oh, you kicked me out for liking it.
Oh, he's not me.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, it got to a point that the person that you're arguing has decided not to turn up.
It's a good start.
I was expecting to see fireworks, but no.
Oh yeah,
Where's John?
Yeah.
Didn't he say he was sick?
John said he's feeling a bit shit, so he's not coming in.
yeah.
No. No.
It clearly is a lie.
Fucking hell, I've lost my train now.
Sorry, say again.
Continue. Come back to me.
That's all right. Sorry, Emmanuel. If anyone talks, then your microphone cuts out. Just putting that out there for everybody.
Okay, I just said I'm lost. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Well, let's just start.
Well, you're not lost if you're on the train and it just goes around the world in about 1 year. So either way, you'll be in the same place anyway, which is kind of the whole point, the whole commentary about this whole film.
You're stuck. Whatever class you're in, you can't escape it.
Yep.
I feel like I could definitely get lost on that train. Just sort of like, which way am I facing? am I going towards the front or the back? I don't.
Okay, Emmanuel at the back.
I was just random out there. When I was watching the film, every once in a while I was thinking, I'd like to see like the Fallout version of this. Like there must be a Fallout type shelter in there, and now I'm just thinking about the video game. But anyway, I'll leave that there.
It wouldn't really need to be a vault. It would just be its own vault, because that would be the experiment, seeing social classes be divided up like that and seeing them starve or not, which is like very much how Fallout is anyway.
Yeah.
But I know
they're not the last people. Like, they chose a train, but I'm sure other people chose a bunker, which is the most popular option. So you'd have Fallout shelters around the world, and then you have this train. They wouldn't have been dead if it was a proper shelter, self-sustaining, like the train, because the technology obviously exists. And it's easier if it's actually a Fallout shelter, because you have geothermal activity and different things that can actually help in solar panels. So, I mean, that stuff already exists now. You
but
can like
Emmanuel, that's the whole point of the film, that no one really believed Mr. Wilford. That's why he's considered, quote unquote, God of the film, you know? He's
You know
like,
what?
yes. Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't believe Mr. Wilford either, because he is the biggest fucking idiot alive. He's too stupid. He's too
Well,
stupid
you would
to
have
live.
froze to death then.
Yeah, maybe that would have been for the better. His plan to propagate the Earth was terrible. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, I mean, I don't mean to start at the end, but that was one of the things where I was like, oh, that's a really interesting commentary. And then afterwards, I was like, I'm not sure they were trying to do that, because when they blast through the door and they go out and they sort of get off the train, and then you see a polar bear in the distance, I was kind of thinking, oh, well, that's really interesting, because they've like, these are two people that have been born on this train. They've spent their whole life there, and although they've been oppressed, they've been comfortable because they've never needed for anything. Like, all of their food, all of their water, and everything's sorted.
Yeah.
But now they're off, so they're not being oppressed anymore, but they've got no survival instincts. So is it better to be on the train, or is it better to be in the wild? And I was like, that's really interesting. But the film seemed to think it was a hopeful moment, and I was like, I'm not sure it is. I think I'm supposed to be questioning this, but you want me to think it's a happy ending.
Yeah,
there's-
I
The
do agree
music
with
in the
that, yeah.
credits is like dun, 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 dun. And I was like, no, these two people are like, they have no survival knowledge whatsoever. They're in infinite fucking icy tundra with no resources outside of like what's still like on the train, and there's a fucking bear looking at them. They are fucked.
Yeah, that polar bear is gonna fucking eat them. Yeah. Yeah.
I thought that was I did, for the same reason Rob said. I think it went further for me. I thought it was really clever that it was kind of like the inverse, like, of what you'd expect to happen in a sense. And it's like, because like mankind messed the world up through climate change, which is the core message of this film. At the end of the day, they managed to make the world more habitable for polar bears, which are endangered. So ironically, they're like probably the most dominant species on the planet at that stage. So they're kind of like, oh shit, we're alive, but polar bears are going to eat us all. So it's kind of like a beautiful like circle of like, it's like, oh shit, human race is doomed either way, but wildlife will survive and everything will be fine.
I think what I
It's so
needed was
clever.
you narrating the ending.
Right, sorry, Emmanuel's got his hand up.
Camilla, what you saying?
Oh, I was agreeing with what Rob was saying, basically how, was it Rob who was saying it? I wasn't paying attention. That is not a hopeful ending at all. Like, you're in the middle of nowhere. You don't know how to do anything. It's a drug addicted teenager and a 5-year-old boy, and we're just supposed to be like, great, and they're the only humans that aren't dead from the train crashing. It's very weird.
Yeah, it's so dark.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know,
And then the music is just like, what is happening?
Yeah,
oh, sorry, Karen.
when I watched, I think both times, because of how sad the ending is, I didn't even notice the music. I don't even remember the music. But for me, that kind of ending is kind of like on a level of the ending of, I'm not saying it's as good as this, but in terms of just like realistic, kind of sad. Rawshank.
Shawshank.
No, Rawshank. And he's a character in Watchmen. That's it. Yeah, but basically, it's just like it's kind of realistic, but at the same time, freaking sucks. Except that one was meant to suck. This one was meant to be hopeful, but I felt no hope, and I was just like, man.
I'd like to know what the director thought was.
Yeah, I think each time I saw it, I kind of, because of how I felt, I forgot to notice. I just didn't notice what was actually intended, because I was just like, man, that sucks. I don't want to watch this again. And then, yeah. There you go.
I was gonna say what they should have had as the ending was all the party people. They should have all come off and then started getting eaten. Like, oh man, they'd all die. Spaced out. Like, what the fuck is happening? And some fucking wolves start eating them. You're like, shame on you, motherfuckers.
Shame.
I would like to point out, and this isn't anything that I took away from story or anything, but this film does not seem to understand what extinct means. Starts off there's no life on Earth and all humanity are extinct, and I was like, oh well, I guess we're done then. And then it was like, apart from the ones on the train, and I was like, that's not what extinct means then. But then people go like, bullets are extinct, cigarettes are extinct.
Yeah, the bullet thing was a bit of a false denoma, what you call it. It's like, it was a cool idea. I think they could have had the whole film where bullets didn't exist. That would have been a lot more interesting to me. Because at the first half, you think they are, and then the twist is that they don't have bullets in those guns, and it's just all for show. And I thought that was really clever.
Was a twist that I really liked. I thought that was really cool. I thought that makes sense in the context, because you don't want to have bullets in the guns, but you do want the lower classes to think that you do. I was like, that was really, really clever. I really liked that as a twist.
I mean, isn't that? Oh wait, Dan, you mumbled your way through your shirt. What did you say?
No, he does it a lot.
No, I'll make it sound.
Okay, no.
I was kind of agreeing, or I don't know what the fuck.
But the point I was going to make is that's kind of one of the other points of the political structure of the film. On the political scale, it's about thinking you have the power to control the people. That's why they have the fake guns with empty magazines. It's about, again, the political power situation about the film.
See, I'm glad you bring this up, because I was going to leave this to the end.
All right.
This is This is my central fucking problem. The gloves are coming off. I'm not happy. Okay. So we get through the whole thing. What?
I said mega shit time.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we get to the whole thing, and we get to Ed Harris. And Ed Harris is going to explain to us for the fourth time in film club what his plan was all along. And the plan that he's concocted is that he's gonna have I'm gonna say there's 100. There's 100 lower class people at the back of the train. So there's a big fucking class divide that's happening between these 100 and the rest. And the rest that I counted was about 300 or so. So he's caused this massive class divide as an excuse to treat everyone in the back fucking abysmally. They're in extreme conditions to the point where they have to fucking eat babies, which ridiculous. They're fed cubes of just kind of processed fucking cockroaches. And yeah, from this, he is expecting a revolution. And on the strength of that revolution, the leader of that revolution is going to be who takes over from him, because he is the evolutionary apex. He's proven himself and all that. And he's going to be the guy who's going to lead humanity to propagate. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all fine. We're all happy with that.
Even though that he basically ruins his whole fucking existence.
Well,
it's
gone.
I would probably have killed the bloke before he'd even started to say, "Oh, you're going to be the next person in line," because you think he's gone through all that shit just because it. What's other things done that kind of shit where it's like, "Oh, I've made you this person, so you can be better," and it's like, "Fuck off."
It's a bit like Blade Runner.
You ruined my life. Yeah,
Emmanuel's got his hand up. I'm halfway through my point, but Emmanuel's got his hand up.
Oh, Dan was still talking.
But no, that's it.
I think that's just General Humphrey noises. He just kind of, as he's trailing off, he'll do like
I'm done there. I've had that little rant.
Camilla was saying that parts of it remind her Charlie and Chocolate Factory, and how
It's
to say
just how he brings how
I know what you're saying.
in the situation and
one
through some sort of traumatic. Obviously, it's not as traumatic in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
That'd be a very different film.
But then his whole thing is, in the end, well, you're the strongest one, you've won. All the while, the plan was for you to be my replacement, and it's like he probably could have found a better way.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Veruca Salt, but you took some of my chocolate, and now you have to eat a baby.
Oh, man. The only
Uncooked.
the part in that whole kind of thing, but like, so obviously, I like the idea of a lot of it, but there was bits like when he was saying how, oh yeah, he was meant to be at the tail and I was meant to be here, and blah blah blah, like all that kind of stuff. And at first I was thinking that's a cool idea, but then after knowing not about the baby stuff, but knowing that what's the guy at, is it Gim what's the, not Gimli,
I like
Gimli.
what was his name at the tail? Well, the actor's hurt. I can't remember the character's name.
Liam is his name.
Gilliam. Oh yeah, I said Gimli. Gimli is a podcast company. Anyway, Gimlet. Huh?
Gimlet.
Yeah, Gimlet. Anyway, what's his name?
John Hurt. Just say John Hurt.
John Hurt.
Okay,
John Hurt.
Yeah. So John Hurt. I was just like, no. Let me get this straight. I don't believe no guy who was your partner willingly cut off one of his arms and his legs just to do all this plan. And so you could sit up, chilling, lonely, and privileged at the front, dude.
Yeah.
It's like,
if I might, sorry, I am halfway through the point I'm making, but Simon, you did have your hand up for a bit.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that's Emmanuel. That's that he was lying about that, right? That's not as kind of it's not. He says it like that, but it's not actually the whole truth. That's why when he gets executed and you see him look at the camera and it's like, wait, this wasn't part of the plan. He gets shot. That's kind of the point. But the point I was also gonna make on this is like the whole reason why the situation where you guys are like going, oh, but he took him to the front of the train and it's like, oh, he wants to make him like the train conductor. No, it's all right. Train.
Like we get it.
Yeah,
okay.
It's kind of that.
Train. Yeah, but essentially the point of that is the whole point of the story again. It's about the class divide. It's about the power corrupts thing, and it's like, if you had that power, would you not take it? It's kind of like the whole thing about the quietness about it. It's like very, what's the word I'm looking for?
Enticing.
And yeah, it's enticing because it's enticing for him because it actually is a situation where it's quiet on a place that's full of noise, and that's a very enticing thing for him because of the power as well. But that's kind of that's the point I'm trying to make. So Alec, you also have your hand up. What's up?
Well, this is emblematic of my whole problem with this. Okay, so we've established that's his plan, right? So as a plan, I think this is dog shit because by creating this class divide, which allows you to treat these 100 people or so fucking horribly, all I'm saying is Wilford is fucking lucky that the guy leading the revolution respects innocent lives, because after they get past the guards, there's pretty much no resistance other than like the Russian guy. But what is to stop him from just fucking going on this enormous killing spree? What is stopping him from going, you know what? The upper classes have treated us like shit for like 18 fucking years. I'm going to kill every single fucking one of them. And all my guys, we're going to have all the resources for ourselves. I don't actually give a fuck about propagating humanity. I think we've suffered long enough. I'm going to kill every single fucking person. Because Wilford's not actually put any measures in, like, he's not done anything to make him respect. Do you get what I mean? He's not putting any measures in place where he would be able to stop him if he was like that. So he is lucky that Curtis is so willing to spare people, because I think if you put someone else in similar circumstances, that's probably not a fucking element. I think if you fostered that class divide, you're going to get someone who really, really fucking hates the upper classes, who's probably not going to differentiate between his oppressors and the people who are just in the upper class. So I think he wants them to lead these people and propagate these people, but he could very easily fucking wipe them all out like on his way to Wilford. And it's like, is that not counterproductive to your goal?
Sorry, Alec, you cut out just as you're getting to the main point of your conversation. Say that again, sorry.
What, all of it?
No, just the last 10 seconds.
Bit. Is that not counterproductive to your goal? Like having someone who you've just treated like absolute shit for 18 years, everyone he knows like shit for 18 years.
Oh, but isn't that kind of the point of Gilliam's character? Because he picked someone out who was like, they go, oh, I'm going to pick this person. I'm going to try to nurture this person into that person.
I'm going to pick that guy who is about to eat a baby.
Hey, at least
he's the guy who's going to be moral.
Well, hey, he was the guy who was going to be a leader anyway, because his leading point was, let's go eat this woman's baby. And he's already a leader in that sense.
He sounds like he respects human life.
Yeah, he's a leader, all right?
Sorry.
But he gets his arm cut off. So
if he cuts his arm off and he goes, eat this if you're so hungry, and Chris Evans goes, thanks. Like,
yeah,
it's just like KFC.
That was kind of a bit like, what the fuck?
He could still be the leader, because you don't have to show any traits to be a leader other than popularity. Like, because if you want to incense a group of people who have just been abused like for 18 years of their life, and you go, I'm intending to kill everyone we see and then just have it for ourselves, I imagine that's probably pretty popular among the people at the table. So
I was going to make a point about, when they find out about the food, the protein blocks, I'm thinking, what they're doing is they're taking the children and put them, like, they're basically eating the children. So when you see the cockroaches, I was like, that's not as bad as I thought it was.
I wouldn't put it past Wilford, to be honest.
What, you mean the Silent Green version, yeah? Oh my god, don't eat it. It's people.
Yeah.
Okay, but which reminds me, actually, when people who are the actors again? Tilda Swinton, because they made the actual jelly thing to eat, right? And she's like, oh, it's actually not too bad because it's not actual bugs. It's like nori and like some like seafood soup stuff. And she's like, oh, it's actually not too bad to eat. But when everyone else was like, this is quite fucking gross. Well, I don't like seaweed. I don't like eating the seafood stuff. It's like, But in any case, bugs aren't that bad. You could have just said bugs.
Not in any fucking bugs. Right, sorry. I think Ben and Emmanuel were trying to say something, but I don't know who wants to go first.
I'll just say mine quickly. I was saying, kind of agreeing with someone or multiple people on that counterproductive. Oh yeah, you were saying it would be much better if it was. I mean, I guess it'd be a conspiracy, but if they made more of the carriages more equal, but then had it where if things were getting bad, they would poison certain people, and they would just seem to die of like a certain illness that happens sometimes in the train. But then that wouldn't be, I guess, it would be a very different film.
Yeah, my initial problem, because I wasn't keeping track of, I wasn't counting how many people were on the train. So as far as I was concerned, they went from about 200 people to like 20 people, and I was like, it doesn't matter if he's propagating the species, you're gonna have a lot of inbreeding. But then I went back and counted, and I was like, oh no, there's 405 people on the train that I like. There's an estimate, but like of the people we see, I counted 405 people, and they kill. There's like a death count of like 165 or something, and I was like, okay, that's not as bad as
a third
that.
of them though.
Yeah, but I was like, but doesn't change the fact that every single one of them, of that like 300 odd of the upper classes, they are all at risk of being in the fucking crossfire of this revolutionary leader who like would be in every right to be fucking angry at the last 18 years. But then he just starts killing them for like shits and gigs. He's just like, okay, we're gonna leave 18 of them, and it's like, fuck me. Like, you've put 300 people at risk of being killed by Chris Evans, but now you're also going, you know what? This guy who's been like his moral center for that time, let's just fucking kill him on camera. Make sure Chris Evans sees it as well. I'm sure he'll still be really calm and composed and in a mood to like preserve life and all that. And then just fucking kill like 74 of them. Like, cool. Good going. Like, you don't really have the people to just fucking kill them this willy-nilly.
I say kill them all.
Yeah. leave just the 17-year-old and the 5-year-old for the
Get
polar
rid of
bear.
them too.
Well, that's right. The polar bear's got you on that one.
Less people, less damage to the planet.
But yeah,
Literally two people. And
But
they're
yeah,
probably going to die very soon.
Yeah. But yeah, my problem is like the film goes like, this guy's really fucking clever. And I'm like, nah. And like him not being clever impacts the whole film. Everything that they're doing is against, it is like either against his plan or a part of his plan, but like his plan is like the constant. And so for it to be this conceptually broken, like it just sort of broke the whole thing for me. But I've talked a lot, so someone else take the ball off me.
Do you want to
How to come back? Actually, let me.
That's
yeah,
right.
I was
think on it.
a random thought I was thinking before is kind of, I guess it doesn't really need explaining, but it's kind of like certain brainwashing parts to like some people. Some people obviously just seem very loyal, naive, or whatever, kind of believe in the propaganda. But then you have like the two kids at the front and maybe one or two other people who seem like they've been brainwashed. Like the one who was doing the foods, I could believe that he kind of, just accept the way he was doing. At the end of the day, that's probably just him. But the two kids, they seemed like they were brainwashed. but I just wondered, not that it was needed, but what did they do?
Well, I'd also like to posit that when he's describing what he's doing with the kids, he's going, yeah, there's only space underneath for someone under the age of 5 to operate, to do like this very specific task. And I was like, you designed this before CW7. So why did you do that? Like, why did you only create a size, like a space big enough for a 5-year-old to sit in? Why a 5-year-old also? Because the thing with 5-year-olds, they're generally quite stupid. Why have you given? Why is this like a crucial thing for the train to operate? Why has this task been given to statistically the stupidest people on the train?
Because he wants his train, because his train is only made of metal, and he wants to make it like in Demon Slayer, where it's train made of flesh and blood. So it's very fucking horrific. So I think
He's just got a poster of Demon Slayer, like, nah, see.
yeah, that's how it works.
This is what I'm going for.
sorry.
I guess, like, to that point, I think in his mind is like, well, obviously this train wasn't designed to survive the apocalypse. He just designed a train just to go around the world for a considerable amount of time, but not indefinitely. So he never got the chance to perfect it, and that was just a design flaw, I suppose.
I guess, but if you want maintenance done, you probably want to make it a bit taller.
Yeah. I don't know if that could be like a flaw in the film itself, is that they never established, like, if the train stopped for even just like a couple of hours, is that like that's it? Is that the end of the civilians and life as we know it? So, like you say, like, surely they could just stop the train every so often for maintenance. Why does it have to stay around the world, constant motion?
I guess the problem is you can't go outside to perform maintenance.
Yeah, because it's supposedly too cold to do that.
But
the guys. Oh, sorry.
No, let's go.
I was about to say the guy's arm did like freeze off in like 7 minutes. So if you try to do like, so imagine a guy go outside, you go, all right, just fix something with a wrench.
Yeah. But like, that's the thing, that they had that impression of that the world's so cold now that it obviously they can't do that, which makes sense that they were too frightened to even try it. But obviously, if you're doing it in Siberia compared to you're doing it in like South Africa, it's going to be like, you're probably going to have more of a chance near the equator to be able to do something like that.
Remember, if they're going really fast as well, that's going to have some factor on the chill factor. Or chill factor. So basically, by it going really fast and it being really cold outside, it's going to make it feel even colder.
Yeah.
So
like we're doing planes as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I do love the fact that he put his hand out and he's like, "Oh, this doesn't feel that bad," and then he kind of goes, and then he stops, and then his arm's frozen. I'm like, I think you would have been a lot more fucking pain if you.
Yeah, I was not a fan of his acting in this. Like, he's Spud from Train Spotting, but I was like, you're not doing the best job. Is really, he seemed to be overacting quite heavily. Like,
it didn't kind of portray as a realistic thing of him getting his arm frozen, because I would have thought if your arm freezes that bad, you're going to be in fucking some pretty horrific pain, and it didn't seem like he was. So yeah,
I suppose that's also to our assumption, is that that's what we assume how bad it's going to be, but we don't know how painful it could be. It could be there's so much pain that your nerves get fried, so you don't feel anything, which is what I think will happen.
Sorry, Emmanuel's had his hand up for a
while. Camilla was pretty much agreeing, and is also saying, I think someone already said it, like altitude and nighttime as well. Of course, it's going to be colder. And my addition to it is just that even in the when did people first go to the moon or first go to space?
1969.
at the end of the day,
Say.
people, if they made something this advanced, they could have easily made a suit that could withstand the code in a much less harmful environment where you can at least breathe. So I when I was watching it, I didn't think that they couldn't stop. Like, I thought this is more of a design flaw, but I also thought that maybe one of the reasons they were against stopping was more so that if they do stop, they risk some of the train tracks. I said freezing over, basically making it much harder for the train to start up again, to actually go over these really cold tracks. So that, yeah, momentum. So they was relying on friction to keep the track warm enough to actually keep going over the track so they don't end up stuck. But of course, you like you said, you need to schedule stops. Like the train is not gonna go forever. It's humanly not possible.
That's why it's called the Eternal Engine. It's movie magic. Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, sorry, I just had to make a point.
Alec looks very angry after
Yeah.
you said that.
It's eternally mad, you could say.
No. You know what? If it's designed to do that, he keeps going on about like self-sustaining ecosystems and all that, and it's
And
like,
all the balance,
okay,
yeah.
fair enough. I'm gonna just take that as a thing. Like, hey, it's designed to withstand the cold and all, like what have you. I'm like, okay, that's just something that I'm gonna take as read. I'm not a fucking train engineer. I'm not I don't know. I'm an idiot. So like, like fair enough. It's a self-sustaining train, and it going produces enough thing to like, it's impervious to the heat and the cold and whatever. That's all fine, but this it's central to another way this doesn't make sense to me, because again, his plan is to have Chris Evans be like this evolutionary apex when the two environments open to him are the train and insta death outside. And it's like, what is the fucking use of having an evolutionary apex when your choices are comfort or just dead? Because like, you can't evolve against dead. But also, if you're in comfort all the time, there's no point to you being a fucking evolutionary apex. So like, what is the motivation for this at all?
I suppose you could say, like, my only thought would be like, Chris Evans's motivation is like, look, if I do become the train captain, I can change the whole train's outlook entirely. So there's no class divide, everyone's the same. And that is a potential future he could consider.
Oh yeah.
But he doesn't get the chance to even consider it. That's the trouble with the ending, really.
Yeah. I haven't got a problem with anything that Chris Evans does in this. But I mean, apart from like the very, very beginning. But my criticism is entirely on Wilford. I don't know what the fuck he is thinking at any point of this. I don't know. I think he needs to fucking workshop his fucking plans with someone who's in touch with reality. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Sorry, Emmanuel's had his hand up.
Oh man, I do agree. He's got so many issues. Anyway, what I was gonna say, has anyone here played BioShock?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not as good as that, but when he started talking about the babies and he was talking about his plan with the Gilliam and whatnot, it kind of reminded me of that whole "would you kindly." It's basically, for anyone who doesn't know, in BioShock, it's someone who's leading you through the whole time, being your friend, and then at the end they turned out to be the bad one, saying, "Oh, could you please do? Oh, could you please do that?" Or being your friend or helping you. And in the end, you're so pissed off, especially if obviously you're playing the game. You're like, "What the crap?" It's like this whole time, and that also has a lot of violence and stuff and abuse against kids. So it just reminded me of Bioshock in certain ways.
I mean,
Better, but yeah.
going on that point, wasn't that the whole point of those little metal bullets with the red paper? It's kind of like leading him slowly through the story or trying to convince him to do all the things.
Oh yeah, but that's not surprising because I expected something like that, to be honest, from the beginning. It's more the fact that Gilliam, someone that he saw sacrifice so much, that was his mentor, that was the person who got him to change to be someone better, was actually like in on this whole thing. So it then flipped his whole understanding of everything. He's just like, wait, that whole time he was constructing all this. He was the one enforcing this. Like, things could have really changed, and he was part of the reason we all went through that. It's just like, whoa. And that's why it reminds me of like, Would You Kindly, Bioshock. It's just, yeah, your friend, your best friend and mentor was not.
So, story-wise, I feel like we've talked a lot about it story-wise. Production-wise, now I think we have to talk about is well, no, because I mean, break it down bit by bit now. Story-wise, we'll get to enjoyment in a second, Alec. Don't worry.
I did have additional story ones.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay, sorry. You didn't have your hand up.
Oh no, I didn't realize we were moving.
Oh, okay. Sorry. It went a bit quiet, so I tried to start going.
I had some extra ones. Mainly with how they get out. They make a point of specifying that there are 4 seconds between, like, when all the gates are open. They don't move until the 3rd gate is open, and then he like Chris Evans like walks fucking like 5 paces and has a standoff, and I'm like, you've already fucked this. Like, the gate's already fucking shut. Why did you specify 4 fucking seconds? Like, what the fuck? Like, no one told you to specify there are 4 seconds to do this, but now you do this as the 3rd one's opening, and it's just like, this is shit. Like, you've already fucked it up. But then they do it anyway, because then the movie ends if we don't. So
plot convenience is what you're trying to say.
Well, the thing is I feel like it's more egregious because they made the line.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
No one said. No one burst into the room and went, Bong Joon-ho specified that they've only got 4 seconds to get through the gate. He made a conscious effort to include that.
So if the line was just like, the gate's open, we only have a few seconds. But if it didn't specify 4 seconds, it would have been better, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just I wouldn't even fucking bring it up, to be
okay.
It's because he went 4 seconds, and I was like, if the gate's already open when you started moving, this is already fucked. What was the other one? I had another one. I didn't. Sorry, Rob said something about this to me, but like, oh no, that was it. I wasn't sure why Tilda Swinton would outwardly call a gun useless. I don't understand what her motivation to do that would be. But then I've said that to Rob, and Rob went, "Nah, I could see Boris doing something like that."
Yeah, it's just yeah, she knows they're not working, so she just slipped her tongue in that regard. I think that was it. 18 years of it, I suppose she'd just forget.
So I can take the L on that one. But like, there were other things where like characters are sort of saying things to each other that they should like already know. And it's like Edgar says like, oh, those guys at the front of the train, they think they're so much better than us, and they get steak and we get this. And I was like, why are you saying this to Chris Evans? He was an adult before you were like fucking alive. Like, he knows. Like, why are you talking about it? And then like Chris Evans says to John Hurt, he's like, revolutions failed because they didn't take the engine. So what we're going to do with this one is we're going to take the engine. And it was like, John Hurt knows that, though. You know, like, it's just stuff that I kind of just picked up on a rewatch. I was just like, why are characters saying these things to each other when they should already know it? And it's because it's for our benefit, so we
Yeah.
understand.
That's
But it doesn't make sense that they're saying it to each other.
Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense because I feel like it's like, oh yeah, bad dialogue choices. Yeah. But it's like, but I feel like that's how it was written in like the original like novel that is kind of based off. Like it's like
By the bloody French.
yeah, it was a lot of what's the phrase that they say? Oh, a lot of monologuing. That's it. Because you know it's required to monologue because it's a movie. That's the way it is.
Yeah, it's bad exposition.
Mm.
Go on, Manuel.
But like I'm sure you all agree, and might have already said, kind of, it would have been better if that dialogue was thoughts in their heads. Like, we have to make it work this time. I know other people have like tried to do this revolt and couldn't make it to the front. But if we don't make it to the front, we're going to fail again. So we have to find a way to actually get to the front. And he's thinking to himself or mumbling, and someone asks him, I don't know, it's just like, I figured out a way to get to the front. We have to get the security guy, otherwise we're screwed. And we might as well like not go any further. Like, there's so much better ways to say it, or it to feel much more natural, or to not say certain things at all, which I think a lot of people prefer, where you have someone comment on it and you just see the person thinking about it, you know, and the audience already know, yes, for this to happen, they need to do this. You don't need to say it. The character could just walk off and just make the plan happen, or figure out a way to solve the problem without saying the obvious. Once the problem's been made aware, it's like doubling down on it, which is funny. I guess the second time I watched it with Camilla, it I know it's not meant to make you laugh, but it did make me laugh when he's like, oh, so we're gonna take the engine, and Camilla's just like, what is this dialogue? And I'm just laughing. It's just like, yeah, it didn't need to be included in there.
I feel like counterpoint to that, they actually did they did the things that we're complaining about in a good way with Chris Evans again when he was talking about the bullets, because they talked about it for a second because they were discussing, what do you mean by the useless guns? I don't think they have bullets. But then afterwards you see him like getting the protein block and he's like observing the guards, and like he sees that like there's like the magazines are kind of like there's a little hole in it to release gas, and it's empty.
Though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, I'm saying like I understand.
I think
completely
that's quite clever.
I'm saying is that I completely agree with your point, because they did it good in that scene, but they fucked up the other scene completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was different because they were, like Camilla was saying, they were all discovering new information at the same time. It was just a different kind of situation, which it felt more natural rather than, oh, this is this. It's just like, I swear Alec already knows. It's just like, John Hurt already knew this. Like, Chris Evans already do, like, this is not new information. This is what you've been planning for how many years?
It'd be like if I was like, Emmanuel, we're gonna do a revolution. Past revolutions have failed because they didn't take Parliament. So what we're gonna do this time, I know it's radical, but we're gonna take Parliament. Like,
go, oh, and we should take Parliament. Because that's the conversation with the engine room. Someone literally says, we should take the engine room. The next person's like, we have to take the engine room. Like, the last time you said that, and everyone here knows that.
And that's the kind of thing you have in comedies and parodies.
It just is very dumb.
It's the stuff that's it's so obvious and dumb, but it makes people laugh.
It's on the nose.
Yeah, but I think part of it, and obviously I try and give the benefit of the doubt. Even though Weinstein Company should know better. So I think it's more of the actually he was a dick. He's a terrible guy. That's not gonna go into that. Words
It
can
was a bit of a dick.
Yeah.
not just a bit.
Just a bit.
not good. But anyway, the English side of the production should have known much better. I mean, yes, there's lots of terribly written English films, so in the West, so surprise. But like the Korean writers, I wouldn't be surprised if it would. Oh yeah, if it came out like sounded like that. But did this not get looked at? Like, why is it still like this? Like it feels like certain parts especially feel like they were translated over, but not really completely. It's like instead of properly doing it, they're just like, oh yeah, that works. Cool. Next
that actually might be the director's fault. Well, kind of the director's fault, because essentially this is going later in the conversation where I've got one of my favorite scenes. I'll have two, like Rob did last week, so we'll break it down. The scene where they open the door and there's a bunch of dudes with axes and they've got that fish scene and it cuts the fish, right? Originally, Harvey Weinstein went to him and it's like, why do we need the scene? This is not a scene. And he looked at the script, it's like, I don't need the scene. Can we just cut this scene out? It's like a very point. I don't waste money on this fish cutting scene. And the director was like, no. It's very important to me. You see, my father was a fisherman, and like this scene has significance because he fought in the Korean Revolution, and like as a fisherman, he died. And then Harvey Weinstein was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Of course, keep the scene. This is important to you.
No.
Of course, keep it." No, because the director then afterwards went on record saying, "Yeah, I completely made that shit up. My dad's not a fisherman. I just didn't want him to wrestle my movie." Afterwards, he didn't really touch his movie because of that. After that particular scene, everyone was like, "Yeah, he just let him do what he knows." It's very passionate for him.
What a guy!
This is like the opposite of someone like who did Shutter Island, the director
Scorsese.
So Scorsese and the producer for that, they're famous. I don't know how many people know, but they're famous for falling out with each other and arguing and shouting on set. Because he'll be like, "I want to do this," and the person be like, "F you, no, this makes sense. Plus, we don't got the money, and we don't got this." And this makes no sense. Look, you want to do this scene? Cut that and do this. It's just like this is like the complete opposite. It's like no, I'm sorry about your father and all that kind of stuff, but no one knows your dad. No one's going to get that. But this is not the place for that. Literally, unless you make a character who has that significance, this makes no sense.
But that's why it was such a great lie, and he got away with it. That's the whole point. It's amazing.
See, I like the whole fish thing as well because it's like you immerse it. It's arsenic in the blood. So like you dip the blade in it, and you got like a poisoned blade, and it's like that's fucking sick. Like, yeah, that absolutely works. Like, I don't know why you would cut it. Like,
I feel like he said something about it's like he doesn't really understand it, or it's like a waste of money, or it just doesn't really get the scene. Is probably why.
I feel like the way it's shot is sort of like because I didn't know that. I had to look it up to check, but just from the way it's shot, I was like, oh, I think if you dip it in fish blood, it like makes a poison.
The thing I will add, I think both me and Camilla will add, is that it's not obvious. It's also assumed but it can also be taken two ways. In the way I took it, like, even though at first when he was doing it, I was thinking, oh, is it poisonous or something? Or slightly poisonous? Would it be bad to be cut by that? But then secondly, I was thinking, is this just basically a battle thing? Because it was only a few people at the front. I was thinking, maybe it's just one of those things they're doing to kind of like people put blood on their face and kind of get ready for battle. But it's kind of, I don't know, drawn out in a weird kind of way, and doesn't really feel like a payoff. It's just like, okay, we're waiting. Can you hurry up?
Can I just say only a few people? just when I saw the shot, I was like, mate, I don't know how Chris Evans didn't shit himself, because I'd fucking shit myself. There's like fucking 80 people in here.
Oh yeah, I mean, I have to agree with Simon. That is one of my favorite scenes, because visually it's just it's very stunning, yeah, and creepy at the same time. It's just like, wait, why are just their map? I was like, man, interesting. But again, only a few people covered the axes with blood, so I didn't really get the point, besides a weird kind of battle thing.
Sorry. I saw what Alex saw just now as well. Sorry. Humphrey,
your ass
lift up your trousers, man. Jesus Christ. Sorry. That's not your fault, man. That's complete.
Lift up your trousers.
Yeah, your ass was hanging out. I just
we've been
yes, you.
Once again. This is definitely not made for kids.
You want to say it again?
No, Jesus Christ, man.
More like Moonpiercer.
Moonfall.
And Rob got to miss it.
Okay, sorry. Back to the scene. Yeah, they're cutting the fish, right? And it's a tactic to say that the axes are sharp and they're trying to scare them, right? I guess that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Sorry. I try to work it out, but like fucking hell. All right.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Good.
Any more story points if you want, or shall we go into production points now?
I was actually going to suggest we do like favorite scenes.
Yeah.
Can I just say that I derailed the conversation?
Yeah, I derailed the Snowpiercer.
It was funny because your background kept like editing it out, but then it would go, "No, it's fine," and then it would just show it again.
Yeah.
No, if you want to talk about production, we can talk about production. But
okay.
I was going to suggest favorite scenes, but like,
okay, I was going to say is this: certain parts or certain characters seemed too clean. That they looked too, they looked too clean, even though they're supposed to be living in like hovel and shit and like starving, right? They looked very clean, and afterwards, other parts they didn't look clean enough. Like after they had the shower in the steam room section, it's like, oh, okay, they should be like cleaned up, right? They shouldn't have as much muck on them, I guess. But it's like, it looked a bit jarring for me. It felt like it's because ever since I watched The Witcher and you see like Henry Cavill is like covered in dirt, it looks natural, but afterwards he has a shower, he looks clean. But so it looks very jarring for that situation for me. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I did notice that. They don't look drastically different before or after.
That's the thing. Like Chris Evans doesn't really change throughout the whole film. Like a lot of them do look really dirty. Like what's his name? Like John Hurt. You look at his hands; they look really fucking grubby. Whereas Chris Evans just looks the same amount of dirt the whole way through. Yeah,
and it looked weird because like they had the whole scene about, okay, take a shower in clean water and rub all off that dirt and like grime off you. So it's supposed to be like a relief. but it still looks as dirty. And it's like, it's like, whoa, I mean, it just seemed weird because they had the whole scene about wash off the grime and wash off the dirt, you know, just to refresh yourself, you know, just to have that like brief recess from the struggle. But nope, still looks like he's covered in blood. It's mainly that stain on his face that was it, and it's just like I just kept noticing it every time, and it's like just a bit off, just a little bit off.
You know what though? The fact that you kept noticing that stain in the same place the whole way through, continuity was doing their job.
Oh, damn it.
Consistent.
Someone was
doing their job.
I'll tell you what wasn't consistent though. How many matches were supposed to be in that matchbox? Because
I know there's 2 cigarettes, but I don't know how many matches.
There wasn't many.
Yeah, because I swear to God, he used. Oh yeah.
There must have been. I don't know.
I swear to God, there was like 2, but it doesn't make sense because he used one to light up a cigarette, then he used another one to light up the torch, but then afterwards he used another one to light up the other cigarette. Was like, isn't there only like 2 fucking sticks in that box?
There were 2 cigarettes, but they could. I'm not sure I got a read on the sticks. I think there could have been 4 matchsticks and 2 cigarettes. But
okay,
it's one of those terrible ones, isn't it? There wasn't many. There was probably 4, 5, maybe.
I do just want to say, when I showed this to Eb, she was fucking. I was like, "There's a bit coming up, and you are gonna get fucking pissed off." And she was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Just wait, it's all there." And it's literally like Nam hands Chris Evans the cigarette, and he fucking and like he's having his monologue about fucking eating babies, and Ebby's fucking just sitting up going like, "Smoke the fucking cigarette, smoke the cigarette, smoke the fucking it's gone now, fuck you."
Yeah.
But she kept on looking at
it, and he ain't even took a drag of it.
She was getting like noticeably agitated as the scene was going. And I was like, "Isn't this powerful?" And she was just like, "Just fucking toke it."
But okay, but that's why the first cigarette scene, when they're like take him out of their little prison block and they're like all smoking it, and he literally just blows the smoke in their faces, which is considered incredibly rude nowadays. But because they haven't smelt nicotine for such a long time, they were like, wow.
Well, like
secondhand
Octavia
smoke.
Spencer actually like licks her lips in that scene. I was like, nice, very good.
Yeah, but that is some fucking quality acting though, because that is, you know, everyone's like agreeing, like, yeah, if you haven't smoked a cigarette for like 18 years and you finally smell, what was it, a Marlboro Light, and like, oh, fucking yeah. And of course, when he flicks it, everyone went scrounge it, just like try to get those little nibs back, right? Fucking good scene.
So in relation to the production, I think Nam's scenes are very, very good with that sort of stuff. Him looking back and describing like him noticing how the snow's melted or like melting, and it's like and that there's that one lingering shot of he's looking at like a particular snowflake coming past him, and he recognizes that is like a snowflake that's emblematic of snow melting. I thought that was really, really cool, and it's a big part of why like I find this film so disappointing, because I really like Chris Evans's character. I think he's doing a fucking excellent job of like showing Curtis's character. I really fucking like Nam, and I think his acting is brilliant as well. And I think those two are fucking excellent. And that's what makes the whole story so disappointing to me. Because I'm like, these performances and these characters are marvelous. I love them, but this story's shit.
Oh man.
I mean, if you don't like the story, that's perfectly fine, right?
Oh yeah.
About
No,
it. Oh, sorry, Ben.
Yeah, sorry.
Will you say something, Ben?
I wasn't there. I was just echoing your point.
That was great. Me and Emmanuel both just fucking talked over each other like twice, and then he went, "Sorry, Ben, were you gonna talk?" And you're like, "No."
Sorry, Alex.
It's too late.
But in any case, back to production wise, how did you find like what was it that they was sniffing again? What was it called?
Oh, Chronal.
Oh no, that's just supposed to be charcoal, right? Or is that like supposed to be something else?
No. It's
Industrial waste.
it's like, imagine, you know how people like smelling gasoline?
Oh, okay.
Something stronger than that.
But here, that actually smells very similar to truffle crisps.
Yeah.
You fucking animals. You
I hate
fucking
them.
animals.
So that taste. Anyway, I gave them to my dad in the wine, Simon. Thank you very much. And my stepmom. Anyway, going back. So yeah, imagine something like that gasoline, but much stronger to the point it could actually help people smelling enough of it. It's basically that in a kind of cinder block, not cinder block, a block-ish form.
Okay.
But yeah. So when he said, especially when they first said, "Oh, it's highly flammable," they can hallucinate off of it. I was expecting them to use it as a bomb before that, or even the point where they got into a fight. Before he's like, "The fire, breathe the fire," and I was thinking even before that, I was like, "Wait, are they gonna use the chrono as bombs and just like, or set fire to tons of people?" And then they only used it right at the end to blow the door. And I was just like, oh. I mean,
you're disappointed, right? Is what you want to say. Just say disappointed.
I guess so. I say disappointed. It's not. It's kind of like, I guess disappointed, but at the same time, I was just confused more of, like, it's highly flammable, but it's not part of any of your plan, but to give it to this guy.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I said to Eb, I don't know how much sense the try and bring the fire bit makes sense, because I was like, if you've only got one match and like a rag, that doesn't necessarily mean you've got fire. Like it doesn't necessarily burn like that unless you've got some kind of fuel on it. So like, yeah. And then Eb went, actually, I think they might have put chronol in it because I said it was highly flammable. So yeah, I was like, so I thought, oh, okay, that's fine. That makes sense now, I guess. So I think there could have been chronol on the torch there, if that helps anything for you.
Okay. Okay, I guess.
I don't think you can actually get that level of fire out of just putting a match to a cloth.
Oh yeah, you can't. No, it has to be like something like gasoline or something, or some fuel. So yeah, it would have had to be chronal, but at the same time, that would have had how fast it would have had to be prepared.
I mean, they've got like chrono dust. They have that weird guy who's like sleeping in that weird metal hole. Goes, "Hey, you want some pure chrono? I got some uncut stuff."
I don't mean that. The chrono would have been there. I mean that the actual torch things would have needed to be prepared. But there's just a lot, I guess, left just assumed there. Like you don't know, like, it's like, okay, where did these torches come from? As far as I know, this wasn't part of the plan. So how did this wasn't even part of the backup plan. Like they didn't even have a match before. So it's like, so wait, what happened? And like, I don't know. It would have to me. I don't know. Anyway. It's kind of strange.
So continuity errors is what you're trying to complain about, which is fine. It makes
continuity. It's just kind of like, yes, that's it. It's
yeah, okay.
Hey,
okay.
Those are subjective.
Yeah, contrivance, but I like it when things are set up very well in the script, and then when it happens, it makes a lot of sense. This is one of those things that looked really cool, but didn't make sense. It wasn't set up at all. It just happened, and there was no kind of like, oh yeah, this makes sense. It's more like, wait, how did that get to and this and okay, I'm just gonna keep.
Okay. Talking contrivances, that scene in itself was a bit contrived anyway. How did they know that they were going to open the door during New Year's bridge scene? Which, talking about favorite scenes, that's definitely one of my favorite scenes. But like,
Wait, say that again.
You know, when they were at the bridge, they were fighting, right?
Yeah.
How did they know that they were going to open the door at that time, waiting for them? Because they had the fucking night vision goggles on them already, right? So it's like, how did they know they were going to get them then?
That I assumed with that, to me, that wasn't contrivance because Wilford, he was watching everyone's and people, all of them on cameras, and it was all planned out. So when they started going through the carriages, I felt like, oh, he pulled everyone out. It's like they even mentioned it. Said, wait, this they left in a rush. Even the food is still here. Like he pulled back all the guards and probably sent more guards that just to wait, because he also was watching them the whole time and was just like, they can open the doors.
But also, isn't the whole thing basically choreographed by Wilford? He says everyone has a place. Everyone has a place they're supposed to be, something they're supposed to be doing. It's 74% of people are going to be dead, blah, blah, like he, not dead or whatever it is. He like this is what he planned for. So of course because he also says the whole revolution in and of itself is engineered by him for population control,
and was meant to end at the bridge as well.
And he's basically responsible for the red paper bullet things. He always planned it going that way. They didn't manage to block the doors just because they wanted to. They did it because Wilford allowed it to happen, because he needed Chris to get to the engine room for him to tell him whatever he had to tell. Like the whole thing was, they knew it was going to happen because he planned it that way.
The engine room after the bridge, that was the bridge was where it's meant to end. But when he got past the bridge, obviously he shot the Gilliam guy. He's like, oh, well, he didn't do his job properly. The engine part wasn't completely to plan, but it obviously he was meant to get to the engine eventually anyway.
Yeah.
But he kind of improvised some of the rest of the plan to say, or sped up maybe some of it.
You probably had a backup plan on a backup plan. You're not a person who's come up with all of that and then you don't prepared for every eventuality.
I don't know. It is Wilford. He is fucking stupid.
It's not the best character.
Egoistic. Not sure if he's not bright and doesn't. He's probably very meticulous. Times.
No, he's quite stupid. No, sorry. I was just being blunt for fun.
What I would say is that he's probably someone who's book smart, but not world people street smart. Like he might come up with all these fantastical plans in his head, but a lot of them don't make actual real world sense because he's probably he's just one of those.
Is that why he was cooking a steak in such an enclosed area? It's got fucking choked to death.
Yeah, see, what a fucking idiot.
I saw that and I thought, that makes no sense. There should be like smoke coming off that. It should be getting everywhere. There's nowhere as clean as that fucking room should be.
Was it or was it vegan?
Oh, he would be a fucking vegan as well, wouldn't he?
Yeah, it might have been a vegan steak. Who knows?
It could have been made from beetroots.
Getting back to the night vision goggles, though, I can see. I could expect that that's just kind of something that they have on them, Like that's just kind of part of their gear. I just again, I kind of want to get in Wilford's head where he sees W7 going up, and he's like, right, I've already engineered the system here where I need a steady supply of 5-year-olds to organize my engineering. Mary, can you make a bunch of night vision goggles for me? And she's like, what for? And he's like, well,
just in case.
Here's why I need 80 night vision goggles. I'm gonna get Chris Evans to be an evolutionary apex, and I'm gonna I'm intending to test him by getting 80 guards to fight him in a fucking high stakes fucking tunnel fight, and they're gonna have the advantage because they've got night vision goggles, and if he fucks them, then he's my evolutionary apex. So as you can see, Mary, I know it hasn't happened yet, but I need 80 night vision goggles right now.
All I would say to that, add to that, is that I think that's exactly how it went down, except they would have already had the night vision goggles. And just part of the things they had on board. I don't think they had the ability to make them just straight up.
Also, Mary, I need 80 axes. I need 80 one-handed axes if you can. I know I've just given you the night vision goggles. Why do you need 80 axes, Wilford? Well, we're doing a train. We're doing a train for like 18 years or something.
Yeah, but
I need axes.
The way Wilford in the whole train like reminded me, it just made me think of Rome in the Rome Colosseum. That all the slaves and the people at the lowest class worked for them to have great place to live and eat and everything. But also this was entertainment. So he probably sounded like you making this film in his head. For him, it was just entertainment to eventually replace himself, this egoistic, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And it was going to be the beautiful, perfect end to his reign and stuff. And it's going to be amazing.
Mary, can I have 50 manta rays?
Oh yeah, there were manta rays in there. Wait,
you shipping some manta rays? Can you get it all from the same company? 80 night vision goggles, 80 axes for the hand, and 50 manta rays, please.
But actually, weren't they skates?
I don't give a fuck.
Well, no, because you can actually eat skates. It's a bit weird, but you can actually eat skates, and they do have like a little needle in their tail. So it might have been a skate instead. I only know this. I only know this because, like, when you look at the scene where they're eating the sushi, right? You know that Tilda Swinton was eating one that was like shrimp. But I know because I've worked with sushi before. That's the stuff you get. That's for the frozen shrimp. It wouldn't have been like from the tank. That shrimp would have been frozen for about 18 fucking years before you eat it, right? So that looked a bit off to me anyway. But there's another question. It's like, was there farms in the train? Because where the fuck did all those eggs come from? I got really confused by that as well.
I think it's fair to assume we don't see every carriage.
Yeah, it was a long train.
I would have appreciated seeing the chicken carriage where they just walk through and go like, fuck me, this is 18 years worth of just shit.
Yeah. One thing, like Ben was saying, I don't think we saw all the carriages because obviously you only saw... Oh, sorry, Olive.
you just don't want to accept that I said things of value, don't you? You just attribute it to random people.
Sorry. What was I gonna say? No, because of course we saw one of the kind of fruit vegetable carriages, and we saw the chicken freezer carriage, but not where obviously the chickens were actually being bred and raised. Also, I didn't realize till I saw the start of the TV series before cutting it off that in the novel there were about 1,000 carriages or some ridiculous number of carriages.
1,001 carriages.
Yeah, I'm ignoring the 1,001 because that sounds dumb. But anyway.
In
Snowpiercer, get out of here.
Yeah,
well, I mean, the train did go around for world, across the continent, across the seas, right? And you had, did you see the holidays on the fucking like map when they were in that school, yeah? They had like New Year's and like Father's Day and shit, yeah. But it had things like fucking Lincoln's birthday and Washington's birthday. I looked, because I paused that scene. I looked at it, I was like, what the fuck? Oh,
Why is Child Tuberculosis Day on this?
I was like, because like you had Christmas Day that down here, which is like somewhere in South America, but then you saw like fucking New Year's was like in France. I was like, huh? What? That makes no fucking sense.
Do you imagine doing Earth Day and you're like, Happy Earth Day, and you're like,
You take a piss.
yeah.
I noticed that. But yeah, I was like, they did not, it did, I don't know. I felt it could have been done better, but they didn't make it feel as long as it like really was. It felt much shorter. I don't know how they would have done the scale better, but you only saw parts of the train. You never really saw that much once.
When they're going round the spirally bit and the Russian guy is taking the advantage to fire through the thing, through the window, and they have that little gay standoff where they're like, okay, and Chris Evans goes, pew! And then the Russian guy goes, pew! And does the same thing, and they go, yeah. I'm like, what the fuck was that? But like, in the next, he then starts walking, and he's walking from the school bit, and then I don't know, it like cuts, and he's like nearly on him, and I'm like, hang on, there was at least fucking 10 carriages between. You just cut it. It doesn't sound, like you said.
Yeah.
It seems like it's nothing.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense.
Also, I was just like, wait, because when I saw the start of the TV series, I was like, there's meant to be hundreds upon hundreds of coaches. It really did feel like there were many coaches. Like even with you knowing they were skipping coaches, it was just like, this is not, where's all the living quarters? You have all these party people. Like, I think it would have, I don't know how they would have.
The train feel smaller, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it would have made the journey seem more arduous and the kind of, I don't know, even better if they actually gave a better sense of journey to the train. Because you could literally have a scene where they're going through, I don't know, let's say 40 coaches, and there's like most of them living quarters or whatever it is, and just different cuts. And then you see them getting really tired, taking breaks here and there because it's such a long journey through all these coaches. It's a trial of endurance.
Oh, okay.
But it didn't feel like that. It just felt like, oh, there's not actually that many people on this. There's not actually many carriages.
I'd have liked to have seen a carriage with like gym equipment and stuff. I'm just like, everyone's really fucking thin on this.
Didn't they have like a fucking pool and like spa area?
It's not really a pool though, is it? It's more of like little baths, and it's like, hang on, there can't just be one lady on here who's so fat she can hide 2 people behind her back. Like, these people don't fucking move. There's no gym bit. Like, come on.
Well, I mean, if you want to talk like that, we missed completely the middle class area of it, like all those people who work in the farms and shit. Like, we don't see them doing their little commute. It's like, hey, what are you doing today? Oh, I've got to do the farming section tomatoes. I've got, man, that commute is horrible. I've got to go down 5 carriages every day, 5 carriages up and down. It's just fucking horrendous.
Hey, if your commute was 5 carriages, you fucking lucked out on this thing. Shit, me.
But we don't see that. I guess we don't really. Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah, go on, man. You're going.
I was just laughing, but to add to Alec, that would make more sense if it was just like, my commute's about half an hour. Oh, really? Yeah, I've got to walk for like 40 minutes. Like, there's so many carriages, and then I got stuck in a way because some old lady had an accident or some baby who made a mess, and then I was stuck in traffic, like people traffic, because we couldn't get past. Someone broke the glasses of the party coach. I wish I didn't have to go through that dumb party coach. All those chrono people. I just want to go and work and go home. I don't want to deal with this crap.
I just wanted to get to McDonald's carriage number 15 for fuck's sake. All these party carriages.
This reminds me of Clerks, and they're talking about what they're doing in the Death Star and all that. It's like what do the normal people do when like, oh yeah, this person's doing this in the Death Star. Then what about the people who do the maintenance, who washes the floors, who does like laundry and all that? It's like, it is fascinating to know. You could have, that's why it would probably work as a series so well, because you could expand these ideas and see like just one carriage per episode of what goes on in each one.
Could you imagine being like the guy and you're doing the sushi and you're like, I want to be in the fucking party carriage, man.
Yeah.
Everyone seems to just get to do the fucking, like, they just get to drink and like do chrono and stuff. I'm just here fucking chopping fish up. Like, this is crap. Like,
Once every 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once every
What else
2
do you
years.
do?
Oh, no, isn't it twice every year?
Oh, was it twice every year? Okay.
Yeah, because I remember they said
Yeah,
it was
January and
this.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes, yeah.
I'm laughing because I could imagine someone saying they said, why are you late from lunch? Yeah, there was a fight in the party.
Could you imagine that? Why are you late? And it's like, do you know where we live?
How do you not know
Fuck
where you're
you. We live on a 1,000 carriage fucking train, you psychopath.
Sorry, I just remembered the scene where they go into the first class carriages and there's like a little old biddy lady who's just like doing her knitting. I just can imagine a reverse of that. You know, when the guys with the masks are coming with the axes down there, I just see the little old lady go, "Oh,
Hello.
going down to slaughter some back of the trainers, eh? Okay."
Can you imagine your whole fucking life is like you're just sitting doing knitting, looking at trees, and then you just see 80 fucking guys in these fucking masks with fucking hand axes. And they're like, sorry,
Remember-
Deirdre, excuse me, my bad.
Don't mind the accent.
How are you?
Hey, Grandma, what's up? I you soon. Yeah, just gonna chop some folks up.
I'm with the death squad.
You love that. I get you dibs on that.
They
Cool.
they get to like the 79th one, and she goes, "Have you got your fish?" And he goes, "Fuck."
Oh man,
Oh, yeah.
comedy. This would be great.
Actually, it'd be a very good comedy. You got the bloke checking himself like, I got my hand axed, I got my night vision. Oh shit, I forgot the oven.
I forgot my catfish.
Hey, the thing I found the most annoying thing was that scene with the school, and they're all like, "Oh, it's blah blah blah," and then I'm just like, "Please, just shoot them all." It's the
Fucking
most
hell, Dan, Jesus Christ.
horrible
Don't the
shooting
kids.
in the world. I like the bit when he hits the girl in the head. What does he hit her in the head with?
No,
He got the
he
egg.
throws the knife.
Oh,
Oh,
my
oh, no.
god!
He's got
You're-
the egg. And he cracks
Sorry.
the egg on her head.
Oh,
Oh.
right.
That actually really made me laugh. Just
Okay,
like
that was-
Octavia, just.
It's like, fuck you.
Also, your camera fucking edits out your hands, so I was like, "Oh my god, you're like John Hurt."
Oh yeah, because it's black background and I got
Yeah,
like
edits out your hand, but not your
it's
ass.
filtered. It doesn't. It's not dark enough.
Right, do we want to do favourite scenes?
So my favourite scene,
That's a
Is-
yes from Humphrey.
the same as Simon's favourite scene, or one of Simon's favourite scenes, and it's the bit where it opens the door and you see all the bloke standing there. It's like, what the fuck? And then the actual carnage, like, it's just so grim. Like, it's really visceral the way they're just chopping up people. It's just like, what? Yeah.
And then
that
he
was-
slips on a fish.
Yeah, I forgot
I'm
about
like,
that. Yeah.
Is it a real fish?
Rob messaged me when he was watching that because he was like, "Alec, you told me this was good action. I've just seen Chris Evans slip on a fish.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even notice. Oh, that was but same favorite scene. It's just like, don't open the huh?
All right.
I feel like that's the standout scene in it. It's just like there's nothing quite as like just making you shit your pants as like just seeing 80 fucking faceless goons looking at you and you're like, oh fuck.
Edgar, be careful.
I
Yeah.
quite, it's their set or like costume design is really good as well, because they're like the security guards, but they look like they're a bunch of executioners because they've got the covered face.
I mean, I don't know how they see.
Yeah, that's a bit questionable. But no, the fact of
It's really good design, but you don't know how they see.
Well,
The black
no, but
mesh.
it looks good. The function,
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
but like they're imposing kind of like, as I said, security guards meet the executioner, and they got like the leather jackets, the axes. Like one bloke's got what's the knife? Is it curry?
Oh, Kukikuri, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of that curved blade, and he's the one where he gets stabbed in the end, and then he survives.
Yeah, the Gurkha blades. Yeah, those
Yeah.
are quite cool looking.
And
But
they're well known for culinary arts. They are, and you can find them because if you, I mean, you can find them in your cookery book.
But even though they were so like scary and imposing, they still had the class to stop for a few seconds to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! Which is very, very weird seeing a bunch of axe murdering people just stop for a second and just to celebrate New Year's, which is kind of like a scene in itself. Which is like great.
Yeah.
That was such a weird. I was like, why is no one taking the advantage here? Like,
That felt like such a piss taking scene. It's just like, we've just been killing you. Wait a moment. Happy New Year. He's like, what the? What,
and then
what's going on?
Jamie Bell's reaction to that is so weird as well. He's just kind of like, I hate getting old, man. I just fucking hate it. And I'm like, what are we doing?
It was.
I thought
was
we
just
were all
like,
murdering each other. What
it was
was
just like
this?
a small point. It was a small like extra bit of the scene, right? But it just added so much like more. I don't know what
world building, but
yeah,
it's
I
like
guess.
it is world building, but it's like you've kind of given them a significant tactical advantage here because you've stopped killing them to go Happy New Year.
Hey, it's about the class about it. You can be an axe murdering psychopath, but you can still have a little bit of class.
Can't be a blind axe murdering psychopath.
But why did the ones in the lower class stop? Like, why did they stop?
Yeah, exactly.
Do they even know it's New Year? Do they even care? Like,
Well, I mean, the guy did announce it, right? And I guess they were just a bit freaked out because, again, axe wielding murderers going Happy New Year. It's a bit you don't really jump into that. You don't go. You just see a bunch of guys going Happy New Year, and you go, shit, what was I doing? Oh yeah, we were killing each other. Yeah. Okay, sorry, but we went off topic. Ben, what was your favorite scene?
Let me think. I think my favorite part was.
Excuse me.
That
was horrendous. I'm so sorry.
It's distracting me. This one of the scenes with Tilda Swinton, I think, where she's the scene after they get her as a hostage and they go through the train, and like for example the sushi scene where they go through the aquarium section, and Chris Evans like, no, you don't eat this, you eat this, you eat what's it called, the jelly stuff, the protein, and I thought that was quite a good like turning of the tables side of things. So I was kind of hoping that she would stay around a bit longer throughout the film, but I thought that was one of her most interesting moments. The little bits like that where you go through each carriage, which like Emmanuel was saying would have liked more of, where you can see the little mini ecosystem in each one of how the people in there live their lives, and just walking through it was really clever. But that was one of my favorite ones that they did with that. And the scene where Dan mentioned where they go under the tunnel when all the lights go out as well, that was really clever. And how they managed to like get the upper hand with like the flaming torch. That was a really quite poignant and powerful moment. Yeah,
That's good.
I really like the torch scene. Just when he's like, Chan, read the fire, and then Chan's just like, run. I was like, yeah, go on, Chan, let's go.
Yeah, but it wasn't even Chen he started off right, but then it was, who was it? The guy with the
Andrew.
tattoo.
And then Gray's a fucking cool character, man.
Yeah, he's the silent, cool
But violent.
Yeah. He was the one that stuck the knife into the teacher's neck, right?
Yeah, he like throws it.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry, I'm gonna lose a testicle. I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, Alex is good. Okay, Pat, you've been quiet for a while. How was your favorite scene? Or what was your favorite scene?
My one's probably more the school carriage.
Oh, you fucking scumbag.
I really liked it.
Oh, I hated it so much.
just
Like-
the song.
You just had like the really annoying teacher
Not
sort of
shit.
brainwashing the kids, and then
Oh, okay.
It's,
and
yeah.
then all of a sudden a gunfight breaks out. It's like I just love how that whole scene was set up. Like it was deliberately set up to annoy the hell out of you, and then just bang straight into a pretty cool action scene.
You think the fact that they're saying about, oh yeah, and they're the people that tried to escape, they're scum, and they kind of make a thing about it. I'm just like, you deserve to die. You all deserve
That
to die.
teacher was the most annoying bitch in the entire film.
Okay, I'll give you that. Yeah, she was. What
She deserved
was it? Christian Bell who plays that teacher, right?
I can't remember.
No, she was the girl in
Yeah, it's not Kristen Bell, but she's like a.
Yeah, I can't, but she. I swear to God, I've seen that actress before. Is what I'm saying.
Scott
But yeah,
Pilgrim?
she was so. It was so culty, and she was so annoying with the fucking piano music as well.
Oh yeah.
If we go outside, we're all going to die, and it's like, oh fucking hell. Yeah. So yeah, Pat, great scene there. That's a
Yeah.
good. That's good. That's great scene. Okay, Emmanuel, what's your favorite scene?
Oh, I already said, and it was the same as yours and a few others. Like the whole kind of yeah.
Production. Okay. Wait. How about Rob? Rob is he just like out?
I
Yeah,
would
Rob's-
say
He's been quiet for about an hour.
Okay.
He's
I
okay.
would say before it passes on, besides what I already said about the favorite scene, the whole kind of annoying school scene, I was just like, I get this is like referencing to like a really annoying or corny, cheesy 50s propaganda and all that those kind of era of stuff. But I was just like, oh, please stop. It's just like, what this, there's a line. I was just like, you're just going on too much for like, this is not needed. But I do get what Pat was saying. It's nice to have at least that. And then straight to boom. It's just like, well, bullets still exist on this chain.
I miss.
I don't care if the kids see killing, because you need to die.
Did I miss Pat talking?
Yes,
Yeah.
she did.
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I live for hearing you talk, and then you talk when I'm away.
That's because when you're away, you're not talking.
Oh, shut up!
Oh,
I let everybody talk.
Okay, but in any case, production wise, the New Year's Bridge, Juventus Bridge scene is definitely the best. But story wise, I still think that quiet moment before when he reaches Wilfred's gate, and he's talking about eating babies
Mhm.
because I know it grosses people out, right? But it's such a good scene, especially for the actors that were doing the scene. It's because this was made what 2014. 14, really? Okay, because
Eating babies was all the rage.
well, no, Avengers and Captain America were already out for about two odd years now, at least now, during that time when it got made. So when you see Chris Evans, you're already established in your mind that he is the good person and he is the hero because he's Captain America. But because he says, I remember, well, you know what I hate about myself? I remember what people taste like. And I remember that babies taste best. And I was like, fuck, did Captain America just say that? Not like the Red Skull? No,
Yeah.
Captain America just said that. Fuck, no.
I remember thinking a similar thing, like when I first watched it.
For me, it was a little earlier, and actually, it was a lot earlier. And it was. I think this is a really, really powerful moment. Actually, and this might be my favorite scene. But it's just after Gray has tried to hold one of Tilda Swinton's entourage to ransom, and he's like, he's gonna fucking kill me if you don't surrender, and she goes. And he's just like, oh fuck. And then like Gray just kills him. But we then have like a similar thing where the Russian guy's brother has got Edgar, and Chris Evans is like kind of weighing it up, and he's like, I could get Tilda Swinton, but I could also save Edgar, but I can't do both things. And then he goes, fuck. And he runs and gets Tilda Swinton. And I was like, yeah. This is kind of one of those bits where, like, you'd expect him to go and save Edgar, but this isn't the story we're telling. Like, this is about desperate people, and they have to kind of weigh up. They have to kind of weigh up these shitty choices, and there's not any like coming out well on either side. I thought that was a really, really powerful scene, and especially when he kills Tilda Swinton later. And like Ed looked at me and went, I do not blame him for that. And I was like, no. But I was like, this isn't Captain America. This is somebody else. But like he's got such a natural way about him. And I think you see him interact with Timmy and you kind of think you're looking at Captain America and you're like, oh man, he's gonna be a great guy. He's you know, he tries to be decent wherever he can and stuff, and then you get those scenes and you're like, this isn't who I think he is. And then you get to the eating baby scene and you're like, yeah, fucking hell, that's really not funny.
You're so used to him playing good guys, so when you play someone who's fucked up, it's even more fucked up. But Emmanuel, you have your hand up. What do you want to say?
If I can, sorry, I am breaking my own rules. But this is why I find it like so weird that like no one acknowledges how lucky Wilford is that he has a conscience. I'm just like, you forced this man into a position where he thought it was acceptable to fucking threaten a mother to eat, like to let her eat like her baby.
Oh, he didn't threaten her. He just killed her. He just straight out killed the mother.
Even better, he put him in a position where he was forced to kill a mother so he could eat her baby. I would never forgive anyone who put me in that position. So the idea that like your plan hinges on him having like a moral center, fucking hell. Sorry, Emmanuel.
That's all right. At different points in the film, especially when they talked about what you was just talking about, I wondered how much they kind of looked back or took kind of inspiration or reference from one of a kind of similar real world event. It was off the coast of Russia. If anyone know like the name of the island or the event?
Easter Island?
Is it Easter Island?
That's
Yeah.
not.
What are you talking about? Like when people
The baby.
Did you just fucking guess an island?
Well, I know you said like I'm guessing you're talking about them eating people, right? That's
What happens
like,
in the island? Easter Island, fuck it.
isn't that what the story is?
That's
No.
an island.
They don't eat Easter eggs on each side.
No. I talk about Are you talking about eating people,
Leave them
right?
in my house, Ben.
Yeah, like what are we talking about here?
Wait, Emmanuel, were you not talking about people eating each other now? Come on now.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the story of Easter Island. How like they eat because they build the statues. They can't build any more ships, so they starve to death and they eat people.
Not that
No?
one.
No. What? Okay, there's lots of islands where people eat people, right?
You've been watching too many.
The Isle of Man, the Isle of
Off the
Sheppey,
coast of Russia.
Yeah, the Isle of Wight.
it's called-
Orkney Islands.
Anyway, it's the one. Oh man, so I bet you probably know what I'm talking about. It's the one where they were basically imprisoned, but because they couldn't, I guess, afford to actually feed the prisoners or whatnot, they just threw all the prisoners, men and women and all sorts of other people who hadn't really committed crimes, but I guess they just could care less about them. They threw all of them on this island and gave them no food. All they gave them was like flour, sacks of flour. And I think that was about it. So at first they were trying to make some stuff with the flour, but then you had different groups of people who was like, F this, we're going to take people. But at first, before they started attacking people, like groups of people started ganging up on certain people, to make it less off, instead of giving a hand or arm, they would cut off parts of their thighs and calves because they were the meatier parts, so they could still kind of survive. But they were actually cutting like parts of their limbs off, or the fleshy parts, to give to other people so that they could eat. And it was like there was certain stuff like they were talking about, and the baby and the mother and all that stuff was happening. They targeted the weak, and that was happening on that island until eventually they said it was getting too crazy, and they picked most of the survivors up and took them off the island. But it was, yeah, that whole story is effed up. But I was like, this reminds me of that from what they were saying in the film. It kind of feels like they were looking at that and similar stuff to that. Real events.
Is this movie called The Hunger Games? What is this?
No, he was describing a real life event.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a real life. You can look into it. It's really effed up.
Happened on Easter Island.
I mean, I don't know.
But that's the story of what Easter Island, how it came about, why
No, it's not.
No,
It's a different island.
there was no statues involved. It's just prisoners.
Okay. Okay.
It's a
Right.
very bad government. Anyway,
I mean, yeah, sure. Okay.
Oh, well.
seriously, look it up later. It's true.
I'll search it out later.
Sorry, Ben. Do you know what I'm talking about?
It rings a bell, but I can't think of what the event was called, or if I think they've made a film out of it, but I don't know what it was.
Okay, I'll
Snowpiercer.
Event Horizon.
Easter Island.
Hold on.
Man, if
I've
it
got
is
something
actually
here.
called the Easter Island event, I would fucking like piss myself laughing. But it's not, obviously. Okay, so any other finishing points, I guess, to the film? Like acting wise, everyone I think agrees that it's top, right?
Oh,
Everyone
fuck, it's
agrees.
still alive.
What?
What'd you say?
What? You're right, Pat? I think he's got a cockroach or something.
You said something's still alive.
Yeah, he went, oh fuck, it's still alive. So I guess he's trying to kill a cockroach. You're right?
Something came out of your ass.
Okay. But like, okay, acting wise, I feel like everyone agrees it was everyone was doing a great job.
I wasn't sure on Spud from Train Spotting, and I weren't sure
There you
about Tilda Swinton. I mean,
No.
she's
Oh,
definitely
Tilda
doing.
was great.
Tilda's
Yes, that's
doing
right.
a good accent. Yeah, there were bits I wasn't sure about, but that's not a.
I liked the translator
Sorry
bit.
about that.
I thought the translator was really cool.
What was still alive?
Spider.
How many shoes did you hit it with?
I just suffocated it with my smelly socks.
Okay. Sorry. Well, Daniel, when you say the translator, do you mean the little robot translator thing, or do you mean the train conductor?
The translator.
I suffocated it with my smelly socks.
Nice, Pat.
Sorry, guys. I've sort of set Alec off big time.
Fuck's sake. Okay, continue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I was saying, I thought it was really cool to get through the language barrier. The fact that they had like the automatic translator.
All right, yeah, the little robot disc thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was kind of cool.
Because it's like, oh, how do we get like the two languages? Because remember, if this is the whole world is supposed to be on this train, you're gonna have all the different languages, and I thought it was quite cool that they just went, we're gonna use a bit of technological magic so that everyone can. Yeah. That was quite cool. Yes.
Emmanuel's got his hand.
Yeah, the translator scene was
Tomsk.
I liked it. It added some comedy to it, where you just say stuff. Basically, the link I just sent is the island I was talking about. It's Nazinsky Island. It was during Stalin's reign. Where
That explains everything, actually.
yeah, it was a labor camp in a way. So yeah, labor camp, prison, whatnot.
Would you say Stalin was a more or less successful leader than Wilford?
Oh my goodness, I
More successful. He's got to be more successful.
I mean, I feel like I'm a more successful.
He kind of won a world war.
Hmm?
Wait, I say he kind of won a world war. He led a country that was part of winning a world war. So that's probably more successful than someone who.
I feel like if you've got a basic level of competence, you're more competent than Wilford is.
Okay.
yeah, it was called Cannibal Island, but the actual island's called Nazinsky.
Was it called Cannibal Island before or after the event?
Oh, after.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Nazinsky Island. It's known as Cannibal
I'm
Island.
just picturing Stalin going, where am I going to put all these fucking cannibals? And duh.
So,
Also, does anyone know what my name means?
Emmanuel,
yes.
it means like the Holy One, child of God. Yeah.
No, not my actual name.
Oh.
The Zoom.
Yeah, I mean, I think only I know.
Oh, yucky means horrible.
No,
Yuki means snow,
no,
like
man.
pure and
Yuki.
that.
Yeah. Thanks, Ben. Simon. Yeah, it's just basically snow because I was thinking about the guy seeing the snowflake and all the snow, the Snowpiercer. I was like, Yuki. He's Japanese. But anyway.
It's a little bit yucky.
So, impact-wise, it started a TV series. So I say we should all vote 10 for that, I guess.
Well, no.
Depends if you like the TV series or not.
Depends if you watch the TV. Who's watched the TV series? Show of hands.
No one.
I'm starting.
Nobody.
Okay. What was the purpose? There was no purpose. It was just a story. That's it.
Hey. That sets a bit of a fucking shitty precedent, doesn't it?
Okay, so
The purpose of this story is to be a dystopia where you kind of question the moral ambiguity of your actions to propagate the species of things, and it's all very clever, isn't it? except it's not clever at all. It's quite stupid.
No, I think the purpose is still good because it's like an original concept brought to life in a very unique way. So that's why I think the purpose score is quite good.
I think
See-
he put a lot of stock into originality.
I don't think it's that original.
And this is the problem with that.
It is in terms of how it's set out. I can't think of any other
It's-
film
it-
that does it the same way as that.
For me,
I can think of one,
it's
but not.
like, the fact that it's set on a train is original, but like I was saying to you, Alec and Rob during the week, it felt very much like a train version of like
Hunger Games
and
Battle
Battle
Royale.
Royale. Yeah.
It's interesting because I don't see those films entirely like it. I think it's more like High Rise in that sense. It's more like
But I did actually. Sorry.
No, you go ahead, Alec.
I did actually see the Hunger Games comparison more because, but like, because I remember saying like this is, it's funny because Pat went, this is like Hunger Games, like, whereas me and Rob went, this is like Hunger Games. There's an upper class and a lower class.
Wait
and they
till
are
I pick
clearly
the Hunger Games.
If anything, I feel it's more like not only just High Rise, but more like the raid because it's more of a mission more than a contest you're thrown into.
The
So
Raid
you
okay.
say
was
that
one I thought of as well.
Just because it's more of like you have to go through these levels rather than the fact that you're forced to go through it. They don't do it through necessity.
See, I
Okay.
can kind of see the raid, but equally, like there's not apart from the Russian guy with the rifle, there's not a lot of resistance.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's where it kind of falls down. for
So-
me, like, as a-
Falling down.
So
falling down.
to like put it all together, it is the Hunger Games plus the raid, but all on top of Noah's Ark. Is that the best way to describe this film?
I suppose.
No, it's more
That sounds interesting.
rubbish.
I mean, you have the kind of martial-ish arts guy who's darker Asian, very loose link to the raid.
Who said he was Cook from Skins or something? I can't remember.
What?
Eb said he's an actor from Skins. He's like
Are you talking about Grey?
yeah,
guy-
he's
uh,
like Cook or something.
I've never watched
I don't know,
Skins.
maybe. Point is, he's the one who reminded me of Raid,
Oh,
Oh.
where he first came through and jumped off the wall and stabbed him in the chest. I said, that's something that would happen in the Raid. Literally straight out that film. Seriously. But anyway.
See, in terms of purpose, I think it thinks it's a lot more cerebral than it is, and I think it thinks that it's. I don't know. I think it lives and dies on how much you want to like analyze it, and I don't think that's like a good fix. Like I got very swept up in like the imagery and the pacing and the visuals and stuff, and I was like, man, this is really, really cool. I'm really interested to see where this ends. But the more you watch it, the more you go, that's not. Now I know where it's ending. That's kind of fucking about with how these scenes are landing. So yeah, I don't know. I I'm not here to dictate your scores, but I don't think Purpose should score that well. But that's that's up to everyone.
And the reason why I scored Purpose decently, I thought the idea is a cool thought experiment. Obviously, it's also a book and whatnot before. But I thought the idea and everything, it's a cool thought experiment to bring to the screen. Like all those things exist in parts somewhere else, but not all together in a film. And I thought, okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it could have been done better. But I was like, you know what? It was interesting seeing this. Yes, again, it's not a happy story, of course, not. But not that I wanted it to be a happy story, don't get me wrong. Just, yeah, different ending.
This is the thing as well, like it's a bit miserable, but like I would not put this in the same sort of area as like Girl with the Dragon Tattoo or Leaving Las Vegas. Like I think it had like enough, I don't know, feelings of like progression.
Yeah.
It felt like you were going somewhere rather than just you're going to be miserable for the next 2 hours of your life, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I was
If
like,
you're from Texas, this must have been a great thing to watch, just people dying.
Please don't at us people from Texas.
that's Fuser his own. Jesus.
But it is one of those things. It's like it
Sorry.
What?
No, I didn't realize that was a curtain. I thought Simon was just going to walk through a wall. He just looked like he was really angrily walking through a wall. Sorry.
Simon, you got powers.
No.
But nah, I think I would have preferred something much like, I don't know, because again, and people commented on this before, the ending felt pointless. Like, you ended the film on these two people who are basically going to die. What was the point in ending it like this? It's better for there to be some kind of backup contingency plan. And then, I don't know, maybe one of the adults is injured, one of them is still decently, but they've got like some kind of backup pod that kind of helps them. And I don't know how you would end it, but there was ending it in a hopeless way, in this kind of way where there's like there feels like there's been no victory. Like this whole journey has led to nothing, but everyone did. So
The movie
why?
thinks it hasn't.
Yeah, so it's like, so why did I watch this? And it's also not one of those films like, I don't know, like Shawshank Redemption, or there's lots of other films where it's very sad in this long journey, and it ends very sad and it's really bad, but it has a great meaning to it, and it's like you go out the film learning something. This, you didn't learn really anything you didn't already know, or but you did already know. It just felt like, oh, what was the okay then.
Yeah, like if you're talking about like personal impact and stuff, like all that and all the ways that Wilford's plan doesn't make a lot of sense, and it ends with, it's okay. If the polar bear's got a food source, then they've got a food source, and the polar bear is going to be completely fine with that. Like, it kind of takes away from the personal impact for me. Like, whereas not knowing it, like if Wilford didn't know what was happening for most of it, the story's better. But he does know about it, and yeah, it's kind of worse. But honestly, this was I don't want you to come away from this feeling disheartened, Simon. I think this was a fucking excellent call. I think this has been great.
Like, personally, I enjoyed the movie. That's why I chose it. And I think as a first pick choice, is not too bad a choice. Is what I personally think already.
Oh, absolutely not.
But all that means is when I do my third or fourth movie, and I pick an absolute piece of shit. Like, I know I have some pieces of shit, right? I can't wait until you guys suffer because I am gonna fucking enjoy myself so much seeing you guys fucking swerve.
Hey, Simon, is that you have to top me.
Yeah,
Dude, I feel
you
like
ain't
I
topping
have-
the manual.
I have a couple of movies that might be able to fight Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Oh no,
That's
no.
not even his worst one.
What's
Is-
this one? Oh no, not talking
and-
about fucking Love Exposure, right?
No,
Well,
Not
no,
that
that
either.
no.
Oh, Love Exposure is wonderful. Get out of here.
Love Exposure ain't a bad film. It's just long.
okay. Sorry, what film are you talking about?
Antichrist.
Antichrist.
Oh, shit. That is a tough one, isn't it?
When I
I-
showed you guys that film, Pat, yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about it. I don't want to make you feel, any kind of way, Pat. But yeah, that experience.
Wait. So what? Wait, is Antichrist just makes you uncomfortable, Pat? I guess.
No, it's a fucking dreadful film.
Okay.
Just don't
That does make
use,
me a little uncomfortable as well.
don't use the phrase rusty scissors.
There are certain films that probably are similar to that I have lined up, but probably not that level. Yeah, so you shaking your head already. So that I'm gonna do every like third, maybe fourth film that I'm gonna do like a bad film. I already actually have a lot of ideas for double feature films, unfortunately, but we're only allowed to do how many of those a year? Once a year? Ah,
Yeah.
damn. I guess I'll save those for later. But no, I have an idea. I'm really like going down. Every time I go on YouTube, search for films that I remember like seeing as a kid, or like films I remember being really bad and going, does this have a sequel? Oh, it does have a fucking sequel, and it's just as shit. All right, let's write this down on the list.
All I
Okay.
say is careful, Simon. It might end up like Friends in Rainbow Road.
Oh, don't worry. The first one is so bad that it's kind of good, but you realize, holy shit, this is a bad film. So can't wait until I do my other list. I cannot fucking wait, really. Oh yeah. All right, so now that we've talked future films, was it John's pick for the next film, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
so hold on. I will quote John directly because I think he gave up. Yeah. We're all done with Snowpiercer, yeah?
Yeah, I think yeah.
Can I just say before you announce his pick that this could be considered one of our most horrifying picks yet?
Okay.
That's it.
What, for one reason?
Gotcha.
2 reasons.
Right.
Okay, I'm watching this alone then.
This week's movie is Baby Driver. You can watch it in the normal places. No Netflix, but it's on Sky. That's
Baby Driver.
that's my John O'Brien.
Oh wait, Baby Driver.
Yeah,
Baby Driver is next
Oh,
week.
that's a good film.
yeah.
It's only because of the actors in it being a bit.
Just crawling with nonsense.
Nah,
For once,
they
I
make
wasn't the
the
one to
film.
say it. I said they were naughty
oh man.
Wait,
because that idiot got fined like 35 grand for calling people that on Twitter. I'm stopping saying it.
Oh fuck! I ain't got 35 grand.
Oh,
That's what I've stopped.
Baby Driver, as in with Jamie Foxx, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I heard that it's a good film, so I don't think.
it
Well,
is
it is a good film.
well,
Well, I
I just.
film.
Well, you say like it has a bunch of nonsense in it. Let's have a look.
To anyone looking to legally analyze that statement, I didn't specify any nonsense, so you can't get me for libel.
Oh, it's got Kevin Spacey in it.
Oh fuck, Simon, what have you done?
Oh yeah.
Oh, isn't Kevin Spacey making a comeback now?
No, not anymore. He's been done for 3 counts of sexual assault.
Can't give any comeback.
No, okay, I won't make that joke. Jesus Christ. Okay, anyway, so next film is Baby Driver, yeah?
Yeah,
Next
that's
film
right.
is Baby Driver.
I'll see where I can watch it.
It's
Ow.
good.
Otherwise, it's a good film, and I think it's done really well.
Yeah, it still holds up.
It's a brilliant film.
Okay, yeah, we could watch that together.
What time are we meeting tomorrow?
I'm
3:30.
eating bed at 1.
So should we ask Rob to end this little podcast of ours or still group meeting?
I don't know if he's
I don't
present.
think he's.
Okay,
I
message.
think if we all leave, it will end, right?
That's
Yeah,
a
if
good.
we all leave, it'll probably.
Yeah.
End
Otherwise,
protocol.
we will be here all night. The way things are.
Oh,
I mean, if people want to just,
okay.
if we all leave and people just want to look at a picture of Rob, then that's fine.
This is where Rob wakes up to the call
So-
still going on.
With tomorrow.
It's to
Yeah.
get. Where?
So I looked and I'm sure the central line's running.
Yeah, the strike has been called off.
Oh,
That's
okay.
good. So we're fine then. So Pat, do you want to meet at 1 or later? No,
This has been called off.
I
as
can
it's
meet-
going to be,
We can meet at 1 at Upminster Bridge.
even though we're going to be meeting Rob a lot later.
Oh, what time are we actually?
The Rob booked the table 3:30.
Okay.
Up to you guys.
Yeah, 3:30. Yeah. Is it Leicester Square?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that should be all right.
You've made us real easy to ambush.
BGI. Huh?
Yeah, I've just realised.
We're still streaming.
Crap.
We'll be at Leicester Square at around 3 o'clock
Yeah, Leicester
tomorrow. If
Square
anyone
at
wants
some
to
point.
come at us with a net, I don't know.
Someplace in the world.
Rob. Rob. Edit.
It doesn't matter.